Okay, so here's another example of speciation. We've talked about what speciation is, what natural selection is, and for your assignment, I want to give you an example of something that I might do if I were using the computer to do it instead of drawing. Give me an example of these different steps. So we're going to use humans. I know it's not an imaginary creature, but we're going to use humans. And humans live on Earth. We've populated, or you could even say overpopulated the Earth. And we're looking to put a colony on the moon. So let's say in the whole scheme of things, we come up with the technology, the ability to send large groups of people to the moon. And it's a sustainable thing. We can grow our own food. We can harvest water. We can, everything that we need is there for long-term habitation of the moon. So we do that. We set up the colony. We're there. Huge cities popping up everywhere. And then something happens to the transportation back and forth to the moon. We can no longer get to Earth or from the moon if we're on the other. So we can't transport back and forth. So we have this isolation, which is that step one, that isolation or separation. And so then what starts happening is we start over hundreds of generations, thousands of generations. We start seeing that the body types for the two are different. On the Earth, we have to resist gravity all the time. And so our muscles are large, think about bodybuilders, stuff like that. That'll be what the pictures are, muscular people. But on the moon, because there's no gravity, or there's much less gravity than compared to Earth, it's a smaller celestial body. Our muscles start to atrophy. We have no need for the big bulky muscles that we have on Earth. And so over large periods of time, like I said, hundreds of generations, thousands of generations, we ended up having, let's see, oh no, there we go. We have on Earth, we have these huge bodybuilders, huge people with huge muscles. And then on the moon, because there's no resistance, there's no gravity pulling us down, our impressive muscles kind of shrink. They atrophy. Individually, they atrophy, but then over time in the species, they actually get less and less. Muscle mass is not that important for survival. We've got machines that do the work. We've got very little gravity. So we start looking like these two gentlemen. And so that would be an evolution. Maybe over time, we're so scrawny that our muscles are extremely tiny, like even smaller than these. And if we were to be able to open up, transport back and forth, there would be no reproduction between the two species. We can imagine maybe Earthlings they adapt to different things that happen on the planet. And the people that are on the moon, after hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of generations, they adapt to other things that are on the moon. And if we were to be able to open up not communication, but transport back and forth, it would not lead to us reproducing with each other. We are a new species. That's a very, again, not the best example ever, but that's just something to kind of help you out, maybe give you an idea of what those three stages are. There's separation and isolation. They're separated from each other. And then they adapt, the two species adapt differently to those environments. And then the last stage is the division of the species. There's two different species. So these would be maybe moon people, and these would be Earthlings. And maybe they're related, but they're not the same species anymore.